Jonathan Harker was a young lawyer from England. He was traveling far from home. His job sounded simple. He had to help a nobleman buy a house in London. The nobleman's name was Count Dracula. The train carried Jonathan across Europe. The cities became smaller. The roads became darker. The mountains rose like black walls. Jonathan opened his journal and wrote everything down. At a small hotel, Jonathan said the name Dracula. The room became silent. People looked at him with fear. An old woman made the sign of the cross. Jonathan did not understand. The old woman came closer. She gave Jonathan a small crucifix. "Please do not go tonight," she whispered. Jonathan smiled politely. He thought it was only an old superstition. At midnight, a black coach arrived. The driver's face was hidden in the dark. The horses moved without a sound. Jonathan stepped inside. Behind him, the lights of the village disappeared. The castle door opened by itself. A tall old man stood inside. He wore black clothes and smiled slowly. "Welcome to my house," he said. Jonathan felt the man's cold hand close around his own. The Count gave Jonathan food and wine. But no servant entered the room. No footsteps came from the halls. The castle was huge, but it felt empty. Jonathan wondered who opened the doors and prepared the meal. The next morning, Jonathan stood before a mirror. Suddenly, he heard the Count's voice behind him. Jonathan turned quickly. The Count was there. But in the mirror, Jonathan saw only himself. Jonathan began to explore the castle. He tried one door, then another. Every door was locked. The windows were high above the rocks. Slowly, Jonathan understood. He could not leave. One night, Jonathan looked out of his window. He saw the Count on the wall outside. Dracula moved down the castle stones like a black animal. His hands and feet clung to the wall. Jonathan stepped back, unable to breathe. Jonathan tried to write letters home. He wanted Mina to know he was alive. But the Count watched every word. Jonathan wrote carefully. Even his letters no longer felt like his own. That night, Jonathan entered a forbidden room. 3 beautiful women appeared in the moonlight. Their voices were soft, but their eyes were hungry. They moved closer to him. Jonathan could not move at all. Before the women touched him, Dracula entered. His face was full of anger. "This man belongs to me," he said. The women stepped back. Jonathan understood that even monsters feared the Count. Jonathan had only one hope. If the Count could climb the wall, maybe he could too. He looked down at the black rocks below. His hands shook. But staying inside meant death. Jonathan found the Count's room. There was no bed. Only boxes filled with earth. Inside one box, Dracula lay still. His eyes were open, but he did not breathe. Jonathan ran before the darkness woke. Mina came to Whitby to visit her friend Lucy. The town was bright and full of sea wind. Lucy laughed often, but she looked tired at night. Mina wrote letters and waited for news from Jonathan. Something felt wrong, but she could not name it. At night, Lucy began to walk in her sleep. She left her room without knowing it. Mina followed her through the dark streets. The moon was pale above the sea. Lucy stopped near the old churchyard. Then the storm came. Waves crashed against the rocks. A black ship appeared in the distance. No one could understand how it moved so fast. It came straight toward the harbor. The ship hit the shore and stopped. People ran to help the crew. But there was no crew. Only the captain remained, tied to the wheel. He was dead, but the ship had reached the port. As the people stared at the ship, something moved. A large black dog leapt from the deck. It ran through the rain and vanished into the town. No one knew what it was. But that night, Dracula had reached England. Every morning, Lucy looked weaker. Her face was pale. Her voice became soft. Mina stayed beside her and tried to smile. But fear grew in the quiet room. Dr. Seward came to examine Lucy. He listened to her breathing. He checked her pulse. He wrote careful notes. The facts were clear, but the reason was not. Dr. Seward sent for his old teacher, Professor Van Helsing. Van Helsing was wise and serious. He did not laugh at strange things. When he saw Lucy, his eyes became dark. He knew this was no ordinary illness. Van Helsing placed garlic flowers around Lucy's room. He closed the windows. He told everyone not to remove them. The others did not understand. But Van Helsing was trying to keep something out. That night, someone opened the window. The garlic was gone. Cold air entered the room. In the morning, Lucy was worse than before. 2 small marks were on her neck.